Okay, so are you a spender or a saver? Yeah, so this follows, lesson 4 for like page 14. That's kind of where we're at. We'll backtrack and fill out the other stuff in a bit. Are you a spender or a saver? Some people live from payday to payday. Each month they spend their entire allowance or paycheck. Others are savers. They put money aside to convert major purchases, unexpected bills, investments, and emergencies. In this lesson, you will compare ways to make your money work for you. You will discover that some methods are riskier than others. Okay. So, the basics of saving and investing. Some people save money in a jar, or say, what about an old sock? But most people agree it's better to keep their savings in a financial institution. So, saving. So a savings account, so this is a type of option. You can put your money into a savings account at a bank, credit union, trust company, or other financial institution. If you choose a passbook account, you will receive a booklet in which deposits, withdrawals, and interests are recorded. If you choose a statement account, which most people get those in the mail or you can look online, you'll receive monthly statements in which transactions are recorded. If you choose an interest-earning checking account, you will be able to write checks and you will receive interest on any unused money. A GIC is a guaranteed investment certificate. So you can buy a GIC from your financial institution, which guarantees that you will earn interest. So that's a real positive of a GIC, is it guarantees you earn interest. That's a big positive one. Some GICs have variable interest rates, others have fixed interest rates. GICs require you to leave money in for a certain amount of time, which is kind of a disadvantage. You have to leave money in for a certain amount of time. Generally, the term is 1 year to 5 years. The rates go up for every year you leave your money in. That's another positive. Rates go up, so you get more for how long you leave it in. So a positive of a savings account, you can make withdrawals. So I'll just go back because I know some of you are trying to fill some of that in. So savings account, you can make withdrawals or write checks, and you don't have to leave it in. And you get interest on any unused money. You're not going to get as much interest though, probably, because you're using it more to make payments. I can go back to these after we are done them too. A Canadian savings bond. You can buy a Canadian savings bond from the Government of Canada. This ensures that you receive a minimum guaranteed interest rate that will increase should market conditions warrant, but will never fall below the posted rates during the purchase period. So it gives a guaranteed interest rate. It doesn't fluctuate as much, like it won't go below. You must wait 3 months before you can make any income from that. So that's a negative. You must wait 3 months to get any income.
And you can just cash them in.
Yeah, and you, oh yeah. Under like station 5. Another one, Canadian Premium Bond. If you have another space left, I want you to put in the RESP one. So I'll just talk about the RESP. So RESP stands for Registered Education Savings Plan. This is a really, really, really important plan for you to know about, an RESP. So you or your parents can deposit money into an RSP and earn money from the interest until you go to school, and then you cash it out. So they could start, you should maybe ask your parents if they've started one already for you. You should go home and ask them. Put a star beside that and say, ask my parents about that. Okay? See if they've started one for you. Some parents do, even like, you know, when you're born, they'll start one. Okay? And then it just keeps developing interest and you know, making those, because if say you're contributing $20 a month until you're 18, that's going to be a substantial amount, especially if you're collecting interest on it. So it doesn't seem as much to pay for school if like you start from when you're born or something, right? Or even if you start now and make contributions, you know? So if you guys are wanting, okay, and the government will add 20% to the first $2,000 you put into an RSP. And the government of Canada offers a grant that adds money to the plan. So this is really great. Even so, some of you, like in your comm presentations, you said, I need to start saving money for school. Well, it's easy to go, you know, you go work and you get a paycheck and then you spend it on whatever thing you want instead. And it's hard to remember about school, right, you know? But if you set up an RESP and you say, I have to put $50 a month into that, you know, or say you look at your paycheck and you say, I'm going to put half my paycheck into this and half my paycheck just for whatever I want to do, like paying for my gas and paying my phone or whatever, then cool, you know? So this might be something you want to think about, because yeah, it can be hard to restrain yourself when you get that paycheck, right? And if you guys said in your comm presentations that you need to save for school, you need to make an account where that's your savings for school, so you can't touch it. You're not allowed to touch it until you're going to school. You can't cash it in, okay? So it might be, or some sort of other savings account, because if you're serious about wanting to start saving for school now and using some of your summer income, you need to make a plan, because else you'll just spend it.
One thing with the RESPs though, is that you have to be very careful the ones you go into, because sometimes if you don't go to school, and
You get
what
kind of
types of
penalized.
school you're going to, yeah, you may not be able to use it, but it is used.
Yeah, so you would just go and ask questions, go to your bank and ask questions about RESPs or other savings plans if you're not sure you want to go to school, okay? But if you're serious about saving for school, you need to make a savings account. And and say, I'm going to put $50 into that account every month, or whatever you choose. And tell somebody else. Because if you just keep it to yourself, it's easy to not do it. It's like saying to yourself, I'm not going to eat sweets or pastries for a week. Well, then the next day you do, right? But it doesn't matter because you didn't tell anybody. And so you don't feel accountable, right? You're only accountable to yourself. But if you tell somebody else, or you write down your goals, then you're accountable. You know what accountable means? That if you do something wrong, somebody like calls you on it and says like, hey, but you said you wanted to do this, okay? So make a plan and make yourself accountable. So investments. Saving is a secure way to make your money grow, but some people prefer to put their money in investments such as real estate, art, collectibles, government, or corporate bonds, stocks, and mutual funds. An investment, unlike savings, does not have a fixed worth. At any moment, an investment is only valuable as people perceive it to be, right? Like a house that say is $200,000 right now might be worth $400,000 in 20 years because the market is inflated, okay? So just because, it's like saying, you know, oh, pop was 5 cents ago in my day, you know, or something, right? Well, it's, the market is inflated, and so it's worth a different amount. So that's what this is, investments more in like larger things like stocks. I already said that. This is why the prices of real estate, art, collectibles, stocks, and mutual funds go up and down. Because investments are more volatile than savings. They are riskier, okay? So however, they also have the potential to make more money than savings do. So you can take a risk and collect more on it, but you're taking a risk, so you might not collect anything on it, okay? And you might be in the hole. When making investment decisions, you need to consider the risks and decide how much money you can carry. The amount of risk varies for different types of investments. The following diagram shows an example of a risk pyramid. So guaranteed investment certificates, so GICs, government bonds. But then if you say invest in corporate bonds, your risk increases, and say if you have shares in a small or fairly new company. Because new companies are not as established, okay? At the base, that's the widest part. There's the safest investments, such as a GIC. These are all things that I just said, okay? Before making an investment, it's important to accurately evaluate the risk and the potential for gains and losses. The potential payoffs and possibilities for financial disaster increase as you take on more risk. So your risk should be age appropriate. Young people have time on their side so they can absorb more potential losses. In a case of failure, they have time to start again. On the other hand, people over 40 should be involved in less risky ventures because their ability to absorb losses diminishes as they near retirement. But, however, I would almost disagree with that in some ways because sometimes it depends on your financial situation. If you were 40 and you were a millionaire, it's not as risky to make different types of investments. But if you're 20 and you have like no money, I would say it's a bad choice to make a risky investment because if you just don't have very much to start with, and then what if it tanks and now you have absolutely none, right? You know, so I kind of disagree with that, but blah blah, I didn't give you that. Okay. Okay. Personal values and investing. Personal values also affect people's investment choices. Some people choose investments that reflect their concerns or beliefs. This is referred to as ethical investing. Ethical investing may reflect concerns about a variety of sensitive issues, the environment, ecological issues, labor relations and treatment of workers, etc. So I'm just going to read the example. For example, people might see a forestry company as an unethical investment because it clear-cuts forests, or as an ethical one because it practices reforestation and employs local workers. This is demonstrated in an interesting way on a very popular